The Hearst Memorial Mining Building was renovated from 1998 to 2003 in order to stabilize the building in the event of an earthquake. Every single brick of the interior walls was taken out to retrofit the inner walls. The bricks were then put back into place and sealed. During the retrofit, the entire building was raised up as base isolators were inserted between steel piers and the foundation. These allow for the building to move independent of the earth in the event of an earthquake. The base isolators have sensors which record movement and other seismic activity. If a large earthquake does occur, the base isolators are no longer useful and must be replaced. Pipes in the wall are flexible so that the energy of an earthquake doesn't pull the pipes off the wall or break them. The foundation is surrounded by a moat to allow for lateral movement during an earthquake.
The Hayward Fault has a steady slip of 2.5 millimeters per year.
This old mining shaft is now closed due to seismic risk. Instruments inside the mine still record seismic activity.
Latimer Hall was originally built without any earthquake resistance. To retrofit this building, X-shaped beams would usually be installed to maintain the structure of the building. However, Latimer holds balconies on each level, and X-beams would prevent access to them. In order to preserve the balconies and allow for their use, large vertical and horizontal concrete beams were inserted in between the balconies. The Hayward Fault is the sister fault of the San Andreas Fault, which was formed by the intersection of the Pacific and North American plates. Outside of the stadium lies a borehole built only 2 to 3 years ago. It plunges 600 feet into the ground and is equipped with a borehole geophone. It is used to measure and record fault activity and the movement of the earth. It then reports the information to the Berkeley Seismology Lab so that the fault activity can be studied and monitored.
Because the stadium is located directly on the fault line, noticeable signs of aseismic creep can be seen on the newly poured concrete sidewalks and stairways.
There hasn't been a large earthquake since 1868, which means that tectonic stress has been accumulating over the last 148 years.
This vertical expansion joint is a small moat space built into the stadium wall to allow for movement of the stadium. Signs of aseismic creep can also be found on the new stadium floor. The Hayward Fault stretches 75 kilometers long, from San Pablo Bay to Warm Springs near Fremont.
Expansion joints along the stairways between bleachers allow for separation, adding extra protection to the stadium in case of an earthquake. The moats lie directly underneath those lines.
The gap down the bleachers along this section allows for movement if the bleachers get pulled apart or smashed together in event of an earthquake. The gap in the stadium wall is due to the aseismic creep. Because it is a California historical monument, the partial wall was not taken down and the space has been growing ever since the stadium was built.
Strawberry Creek runs through pipes underneath the stadium. Because the fault is a right lateral strike slip, the offset causes many leaks. The student section of the bleachers were built on top of bedrock. However, the donor seats were not built on top of bedrock and were subject to greater damage during an earthquake. After the retrofit, these risks were diminished.
The press box has separate supports that are independent of the stadium. On the concourse level, shock absorbers are used to absorb energy and reduce movement during earthquakes. Flexible pipes are also located at these vertical expansion joints to prevent breakage during earthquakes. This is the Hamilton Gulch. Historically, offsets are about 1,000 feet between the stream channels. Due to the right lateral strike slip nature of the Hayward Fault, the Hamilton Gulch is offset 100 feet. It still has a lot of potential movement.
The sidewalk seen here used to be straight, but due to aseismic creep, the sidewalk has been shifted.
I feel the earth